Now the camera we're talking about today is the Canon T60. And we've spoken about this a little bit here and there. This is the Cosina CT1 chassis with an FD mount put on it and Canon drawn on the front there. The reason we're talking about it is for two major reasons. One, I've always kind of wanted one. It's been a weird obsession of mine. Two, I think they're fascinating. So we will get to the why it is fascinating, worth talking about, all that stuff. As you may know, is the tail end of the Canon FD series of cameras. Before this, they had released some of their first EF bodies, which are autofocus camera systems. FD, as you may know, is manual focus. And the reason why this was important was because they had a long lineage of FD manual focus cameras up to this point. And so pivoting away from that to autofocus, that's a huge deal. It's a showing of adoption of new technologies and stuff, and a reframing of the brand. In fact, I like to look at Canon SLR systems in like three major groupings. We have the F series, the first iteration, with cameras such as the FT, FTB, F1 original, the TX, TLB, TL, the FX, that was in there too. All of those kind of original F series SLR cameras. They are large, they're pronounced, they're steel, they're mechanical, they're, solid build systems. Then from there we convert into the A series of cameras, which is the AL1, A1, AE-1 program, AV1, AT1. I might be forgetting one in there. But these are a little bit smaller, they're lighter weight, they're trimmed down, they use alloys and different things, different materials to lighten them up. They also employ more electronics, and they're a little bit more accessible to a beginner audience. And then we migrate into the final category, which is the T series, the worst of them all, which is of course the T50, T70, T80, T90, and the T60. These are mid to late 80s, 90s style cameras, a lot of plastics, a lot of cheap electronics, decent for what they are, but just kind of in that weird place of they're very automatic, but they still have manual focus. And then that kind of bled into the EF series Rebel cameras that now featured autofocus lens systems. All good stuff. The T60 comes after that though, and it's kind of a footnote, an abridged finality to the Canon FD line. And the reason why that is because they didn't make it. As mentioned, this is a Cosina camera, and because of that, Canon really didn't have much to do with it except slap their name on it and ship it everywhere else but Japan, because they did not, as far as I know, sell this in Japan. This was an affordable option for student photographers everywhere else but Japan. I presume because they didn't want to tarnish their reputation in their home country. But that's just me speculating. And the reason why this is important to talk about now, Canon, by all accounts, rumored and otherwise, is looking to be a little bit retrospective in their old age. They're looking to design more cameras that herald back to the past. And we've seen this with brands before, such as Nikon and Fuji with their retro designs and their film simulations and all sorts of things like that. Canon wants a piece of that action, and rightfully so. They have a long lineage of cameras to admire upon. And also we're coming up on some anniversary for the Canon AE-1, which brought them a lot of fame and popularity. So with that in mind, I feel like it's important to be reflective on this as well, which in some ways, in a good faith interpretation, could serve as a look back at their FD series of cameras while they were migrating into the EF. But I also view this as Canon recognizing the massive expense it was going to be for people to adopt their autofocus cameras and the lenses, and so they produced something that was, to them, pretty low cost to them, that they could sell at reasonable rates that people would buy into. This does not serve as a distillation of Canon design language functionality. This is a Cosina camera that Canon put their name on. I mean, they didn't even have the decency to put the right font for the T series of cameras, but that's neither here nor there. The interesting thing about this is not only is it the only Canon T camera that has a manual advance, but it's also the only Canon camera, I think, that uses the LR44 battery system, because every other Canon camera, the A's, those all use 4 LR44 stacked batteries, except for the AL1, which has 2 AAA batteries, I believe. The FTs and all that stuff, those use the PX625A batteries. And the T cameras, the T50, T70, those I think all use AA batteries. This one uses two LR44 batteries, which is, I guess, unique in some way. If you need help at like a trivia night or something, if you're struggling, if you're letting your trivia team down, you just gotta watch more of my videos. I'm telling you, I'm chock full of this stuff. With all that nerd stuff out of the way, the best thing about this camera, in my opinion, is the lens mount. We've talked about these cameras ad nauseum. I enjoy the idea of them a lot, but the T60s always remain fascinating to me because I enjoy the FD lens series. There's a wide range of options, from the more affordable third-party stuff to the mid-range 50mm 1.8s that are really good quality glass, to the more expensive spherical coated, all that sort of really good stuff in there as well. All of these things are great and they exist in this wide range of prices, but my main concern with shooting this was like, oh, if I put a lens on here with these like metal build lenses, there's going to be the severe imbalance between camera and lens because this is so light. But you don't really feel that. It does feel good in the hand. And beyond that, you've got these nice ergonomic grips that feel good in the hand as well. It has this really comfortable feel to it. And the plastics, they are there, definitely, but it has a smoothness to it that is easy to use, and it's not terribly loud. The more intriguing parts about this is where this kind of fits in a lineup of cameras. I would say if you had like a really nice camera that you enjoyed shooting with, like an F1 or something like that, I would say this would be a great backup option. Just something quick that you could put a different lens on and get the same kind of look. And then that would be an interchangeable lens for your F1, that'd be an interchangeable lens for your A1 or something of that matter. But it's also a very good student camera. I think it still exists in that realm. You have the option for auto. You have shutter speed ranging from 1,000 all the way down to 1 second. And everything is fairly straightforward. It's about as much of a Canon camera as, you know, the Nikon FM10 is as much as a Nikon camera. But I still really do enjoy just the overall aesthetic look of this. It looks very toy-like, but it also has this retro-futurist touch to it that I find intriguing. With all that being said, let's walk around for a little bit, shoot with it, and talk about the results after all of this. I am suspecting there's a bit of an issue with the mirror angle because everything is out of focus, especially at infinity. The problem that this camera had when I initially got it was the shutter was jammed, which is, that's never good. But I thought I kind of fixed it. I got it to at least work, which is, you know, a positive. So the film that I'm shooting with is actually film that came with this camera in a box of crap that I got. And I don't know how old the film is necessarily, but given the condition that everything in the box was in, I'm presuming the film's gonna be pretty cooked. Got these beautiful long stretches of field. On a bright sunny day, there's something about the way that this kind of carves off. And it might be a little bit miserable for me to be out here right now just because I am a wuss when it comes to heat. But I suspect that however cooked this film might be, the additional light is going to be a benefit. And those words could age like milk, but time will tell. Love this right out here. I don't know if you can see. That's like remarkably beautiful out there with the stork just sitting there. I hope this turns out. Oh, that's a little beaver over there. If you want to check out the full T60 photo walk, I recommend you do so on my second channel. I have it up there now. It's a great time, just me walking around talking about the camera and Happy Gilmore too. You know, pretty basic stuff, But if you just want to hear my thoughts on the camera and the photos I took, that's what we're here to do now, so welcome. And if you haven't already, like the video if you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that support so very much. Returning to the camera and some of the points I made earlier on in the video, this kind of exists in an interesting place. It can be viewed by some as a cheap ploy to capitalize on the remaining FD market while Canon transitions to the technologically superior EF mount series of cameras, or it could be viewed as a good faith effort to acknowledge and feed a market that exists previously with their older systems. And I think either way is really a fine interpretation to have. Me being the more pessimistic person I am, kind of leads me to think it's a little bit more the former than the latter. But as it exists now in 2025, some 30 odd years after its release, what is the T60? What does this represent? Why am I talking about it here? I think it represents a lot of different things. I think on one hand it could be viewed as some changing of the guard, the last of a relatively iconic lens mount series from a very prominent brand. But I think more than that, it is a evolution of Canon's desire to kind of meet a lot of different masters. I've spoken about this before, but certain camera brands carry certain weight behind them. Nikon is like the professional brand. Pentax has some more affordable options, very consumer-centric stuff. Olympus is kind of weird doing its own thing. Minolta's quirky, but in a very affordable and like surprisingly high-quality way. And Canon is just kind of a jack-of-all-trades platform. They've always had a wide range and variety of stuff, and they've really embraced technological advancement as it's come. They've really pushed the boundary of what can be done with a film camera, as a lot of the brands have in the past, but I feel like Canon is oftentimes at the cutting edge of evolution in the systems. And the T60 to some degree is a step back, because again, it's not a Canon camera per se, but it still holds on to some of the things that make Canon important. The branding itself of being accommodating to a wide variety of users. Even as they migrate into the more expensive technologically advanced EF series of cameras, they still deliver something of relative quality that can be used by beginners, and I would argue one of the better cameras in the whole T series of cameras. Now we can argue about the T90 being a great camera. I think to some degree it is, but I think it is also overshadowed by the fact that EF Rebel series cameras are typically a fraction of the price and work predominantly better with autofocus in terms of its accessibility, in terms of its weight, in terms of the mechanical components to it, even though it is predominantly an electronic camera with an electronically controlled shutter, which is something I did not realize until shooting it. I think it still holds a special place in my heart as being a hearkening back to the earlier days of Canon with the AE-1 program and the AE-1 series, which, if you ask me, is kind of a high point in terms of their output for film cameras, specifically 35mm SLRs. So the T60, in some ways, is a bit past its prime. When it was released, it didn't fit in to the rest of the group. And as it stands currently in the year of our Lord 2025, it might not still fit in. It's plasticky, it feels a little bit cheap at times, it weighs less than a feather, but it does still have some charm to it. It has some aesthetic choices that I think make it special and worth talking about, and it has some reliability to it in that construction. So, was it really worth talking about and shooting with? Of course. It's a camera that not a lot of people know about. It's a camera that not a lot of people talk about. You can produce beautiful images with this camera, as you can with any film camera. If you enjoy using it, this could be a fantastic camera for you. And that's pretty much it, the Canon T60. It's weird, nobody asked for this video, but now you have it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you shot with this or any of the Cosina CT1-esque cameras? What did you think? Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. Please hold your applause.